Hello and welcome to the Stellar Monarchs preview show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley as we look ahead to another big championship match. Dave, doesn't it get much bigger in a derby this Friday? It's the Glasgow Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, what a baptism of fire for the new boys for this weekend. But yeah, it's a challenge we're up for. If you want to look at it a different way, it's our only positive home match of the season so far. Was a big win over the Tigers on opening night. So hopefully we'll be repeating that one.
Yep, that's the aim. So we look ahead to that. And a little bit we'll hear from the Tigers number one, Chris Harris. But we'll now welcome in our star guest of the evening, the Monarchs, newly put into number 7, Monarchs Norwegian star Lasse Fredriksen.
Hi boys, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So,
yeah, good, Lasse. Good to see you there, and looking forward to the weekend. And after you've been here nearly a year and a half, and finally your average goes up, and you get a proper deserved average, and you drop to reserve. A little bit different there, but a new challenge for you on Friday night.
Yeah, sure. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I hadn't really tried not to care about that much about which number I'm riding at. I want to beat the guys on the side of me, even if I'm number 1 or number 7 or whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going down to reserve and try to help the team as best as I can from there.
Yeah, you mentioned the kind of the number on your back. You try not to bother you, but I guess what you have to be pleased with looking at is regardless of where you're in the team, is the progression this year. You know, we've seen solid scoring almost every week, an increase on your average. You know, I think it goes up from 4. This test average 4.27, but from the average you had at the end of last season, I think it's up by almost a point. And that just shows that comfort level you must be feeling in your second season.
Yeah, sure. I had a bit of a slow start, I think, but yeah, things have gone in the right direction the last couple of weeks or matches. It's not quite where I want to be. I know I can do it even better, but yeah, it's steps in the right direction, and hopefully I can keep building from there.
Yeah, I have to agree with Graham. I think we've certainly seen you take a step up in the last month or so. It's difficult with the matches being so far apart, a fortnight between Monarchs matches at times, but yeah, no, but it's good to see you start to progress, and you obviously you potentially get more rides on Friday night as a result of that number, which can only help, and I think it'll help the team as well.
Yeah, definitely. I've just been a few hours on the motocross bike now to get used to the arm pump for a few more rides. So yeah, hopefully I'll see what it brings and take it from there.
Yep, and I think obviously I can see 28 people are watching us live just now, Dave. So do get your comments and questions in for Lasse, and we'll read them out for you. First one that's come in from Scott Girdwood. I think you've maybe touched on it already, Lasse, but just asking if you're looking forward to having a stint at reserve.
Yeah, I do. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't tried it before. You know, as I said earlier, I want to win no matter which number I am. But if I can get a few more rides, some here and there, and if that helps the team, I'm all in for that.
Yeah, we got a comment especially for you, Graham. More holidays in Glory Hunniford, apparently. It's good to have you back. I'm sure the watchers will be pleased to see it. We also had a bit of an anonymous question come through for you, Lasse, just before the start. Is that being a role model for the academy kids, what would you consider to be appropriate footwear for a Speedway rider?
I think I know who this is, but for a Speedway rider, if it's good weather, you should walk around in the shorts, tennis socks with red stripes, and some brown sandals from Birkenstocks or some kind of that. So that's my answer to that.
Yeah, sandals, socks, and pinstripe trousers is apparently the coaching team are keeping an eye on the. I don't know if they're a coaching team or fashion police, but.
Yeah, and of course, Lasse, Friday it's a rejig Monarchs team. We mentioned that the newcomers coming in puts you down to reserve, but it'll be a Monarchs debut for Bastian Borka, a guy that I don't know if you've ridden with, but I know I'm pretty sure you rode against him in Sweden last year. So, what was your impressions of Bastian?
Yeah, I don't know him too well, but yeah, I've met him a few times in Sweden last year, and he seems a good guy. Looking forward to welcoming him into the team. To be honest, I haven't seen him ride that much. I've just ridden against him a few times, so I can't comment too much about how he rides. But I'm sure the club is good to spot talents, and I guess they've done it again. And if they see something in him, I'm all in for that. I'll do that as well. So I trust the club there, and I can't wait to welcome him into the team.
Yeah, and it does mean a bit of a rejig around the team as well, as you'll see going across the bottom. Paco moving to number 2. Bastian will come in at 3 with Kai Thompson, captain of the Monarchs from this week, at number 4. And obviously yourself dropping to reserve with Dale. So I guess we're just, as the website article went, a bit of a reset for the Monarchs and hoping to turn around our form, because the results at home haven't been what we've been expecting this year, have they?
No, we struggle at home. I won't lie about that. But yeah, we have, like the last meeting we had 2 top guys out, and it's always going to be tough, with guests and that. But yeah, as I said, it's a new reset the team now. Got to reset our minds and go from there. We beat Glasgow earlier in the year, and I know we can do it again.
Yeah, and I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? It's a shortened league season where there being less teams, but with 6 teams making the playoffs, you could almost argue 6 is as good as first at this stage now. And I guess just picking up the home wins, try and reclaim some more points away from home the rest of the season, and aim for those playoffs, and then the season starts again. Everyone starts on 0 once the top 6 are set.
Yeah, definitely. We saw at Birmingham when we all had like a pretty decent meeting. We can also grab good points away as well as home. I think with this team. So yeah, of course, to get into the playoffs would be awesome. But like for now, I think we're just gonna need to take match for match and just try to win every match we're in, every heat, and take it from there. And that will at least put us in the playoffs, and we want to be even higher if we can. But as I said, it's like match for match. Just gotta focus on what we gotta do on each match, and we always do, try to go win every match.
Yeah, and of course you can watch the new look Monarchs on Friday night as usual. Book your tickets now from edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. Get yourself trackside. If you're not able to make it, the live stream is available from that website. You can buy that now, and obviously on Friday night you'll be able to watch it there. We'll jump back. We've got a few more comments coming in. What we got? A few fans said the track isn't great. How do you as a rider find the track this season? From Stephen Fruzinski. Apologies if I've mispronounced that, Stephen.
The track is I think the track has been quite good. It's slicker than it probably normally what the fans have been used to. Like I came in last year, and it's been pretty consistent, like with not that much dirt on ever since I came in. But it's maybe slicker, but especially the last few weeks, I'm just speaking for myself, but I've been finding the track pretty good, especially the last few weeks. So I think all the critics, I know that the track staff do whatever they can, and they never go out to make a bad track. So I know that they're doing everything they can, and they listen to us as well. So yeah, I'm not that.
Yeah, it's always the first to get the blame, isn't it, Lasse? It's when things aren't going well, the track's always first there. Peter Hall was asking a bit more philosophical about how did you get to Speedway, and who were your Speedway heroes when you were growing up?
Yeah, I came into it from I was very young. I was 5 or 6, I think, when I first tried it, and been in it ever since. Traveling up and down Denmark to go meetings when I was a little kid, and yeah, I've loved it ever since. About who are my heroes? Hard to say. We had a guy that I used to have as a hero. He's a friend of mine now, but he was a speedway rider when I grew up. He was a good rider. His name is Mickey Bjerk, but he's not a rider anymore. He didn't make it to the top, but he was still a hero for me when I was a little kid. So I'm happy to have him as a friend now, and raced a few years in the same team as him before he retired a few years ago. So yeah, I could say he was a hero for me.
Yeah, and of course, Lasse, we look, we've touched on the Monarchs lineup this week. We look at the opposition now. Derby matches always mean that a little bit more, and you touched on it. We managed to beat Glasgow Armadale earlier in the season, but we know just how tough that's going to be again come tapes up on Friday.
Of course, Glasgow is a strong team, as they always is, and it's always going to be tough every heat, and we just got to be on our game, really. I know we can beat them. We showed that earlier in the season, and we just got to keep that belief coming into this Friday. But yeah, of course, it's going to be tough. They're always a hard nut to break, Glasgow.
Yeah, I mean, they are at full strength on Friday, as we can see from below. And Ryan Anderson asking about that. That's 4 or 5 derby matches you've had. Do you feel there's more pressure in these meetings than normal meetings?
I wouldn't say pressure, but of course you can hear the fans even better. You can see the fans even better, and it's a bit more tense. But try not to get the pressure to get the best of you. But of course, it's different from a normal league meeting. I can't lie, but try not to get too caught up in that, and yeah, just treat it as a normal meeting. But yeah, of course, it's good fun to see the fans and going on the straights. You can hear them as well. That's always going to be fun. So yeah, I'm looking really looking forward to the meeting this Friday, and as well the Friday after where we go away.
Yep. So Lasse's looking forward to this Friday. I know another man who is Glasgow #1, Chris Harris, and I caught up with him a little bit earlier on today. So, Chris, another visit to Armadale for the Tigers this week, and it's been a pretty solid start to the season. Obviously, progressed through well, and then the BSN series through the final there. Maybe a little bit of a wake-up call in the KO Cup against Redcar, but then a strong bounce back in the league against Birmingham. So I guess, as always, the Tigers will be heading east, looking to take the spoils.
Yeah, no, we've had a pretty good start to the season. Really disappointed to be turned over by Redcar home and away, but that's the nature of the sport. We only have ourselves to blame there, really. But yeah, other than that, a good start, solid start to the season, and hopefully we can kick off. And then,
and I'm just going to say, obviously, return to the Tigers this year after a very strong year at Berwick last year, and maybe there was a little bit of feeling unfinished business on both sides. I know I spoke to Cammy Brown before the start of the season. He was delighted to have you back and felt just the last time you were there, just nothing went right with machinery and things like that. And I guess for yourself, you'll be delighted to be showing the Tigers fans exactly what you wanted to the last time, now that you've had a second chance.
Yeah, no, the first time there was a lot of things, a lot of bike issues and problems, and then I had as well with both of my daughter that year as well. So I think the combination of everything, it was a lot going on. But no, this time we're more well back to the sponsors, and the equipment's better. The travel we've sort of organised a bit better as well. With last time I was driving up and back on my own, where I've got a little bit of help this time, so I haven't got that stress of driving and getting tired. So no, it's all round better. And say I wanted to come back and put things right, as I say. I didn't like the way that first season went at Glasgow for me. So this is the one to hopefully put things right and show my true colours. Rest of the year I've had since leaving Glasgow was a lot better. So I thought it was only right to go back and give my best for the club.
Yeah. And then, of course, the derby the next 2 Fridays. You know what that's all about. You've been in many a derby all over British and probably world speedway, but I think when you talk to riders, they try and say, "Oh, we treat it as another meeting because we don't want it to affect us or get jumpy." But when you're rolling around in Heat 1 and you see that sea of red and white on the front bend come Friday night, it must just give you a lift as well.
Yeah, like I said, I've done a few derbies over the years in different countries and different leagues and that. So, yeah, it's always special. I always do like them because obviously the fans make it that extra special. They want to get one over their local rivals, and I get that. It is fun to be part of. Yes, but when we go there, it's going to be a lot of pressure because Edinburgh they are a specialist side at home. They ride their home track very well, and but we've got good, capable riders that can ride our place as well. And so when we've got the travelling fans from Glasgow come over, they always get behind their riders and try to spur you on.
And then obviously the BSN series at Ashfield, there was maybe a little bit of off-track shenanigans as well as on-track. So, as someone that's been there and see that, will you kind of take some of the younger guys to the side on Friday and just say, look, remember, it's all about what we do on track and don't let this stuff get to you? Or are you more than confident in the rest of your team that they all know exactly what they're there to do as well?
Yeah, no, I think everyone's moved on from what happened there. These things happen in racing. You're going to get tussles and these races but I would just put my experience across and say that we just got to forget about that. It's a new day. Obviously when everyone's eyes will be on that race when obviously Craig and Benjamin meet, but they're both professional riders. They know that knocking each other off ain't gonna really solve anything. They're not getting excluded, losing themselves some money, and just bad atmosphere for the teams really. So they both riders know what the score is. They've moved on from that. I'm sure they want to just go out there and beat each other and just get one over each other that way than doing anything silly on the bike.
Yeah, and then I guess you're just moving on to your own sort of personal season, not just at Glasgow, but the points are still coming to the Premiership. We saw at the weekend there on the long track, you were top of the podium, so you must be delighted with how everything's going, just on the bike, full stop, not just Speedway and not just Glasgow.
Yeah, no, on the whole, the season's not been too bad. I look at it, I want to. I'm not scoring as points as I would have liked to. I'd like to obviously always want to score more. Just silly little things that I've done in other meetings, in other leagues, and that's let myself down. And we changed a few things on the bike that probably didn't need changing and gone back to basics really. So I'm feeling more comfortable on the bike than I did start the season. And say winning the European semi-final the other day was a nice confidence boost going into the rest of the season.
Yep. So Chris Harris there, Dave. Confident and happy sounding Tigers #1, and we all know the challenge ahead come Friday night is going to be a tough one for both teams.
Definitely. I mean, any thoughts of that red card meeting was more probably of a little bit of a blip. Justin Sedgman did guess for Ben Basso that night, and would have been a difference there. Might not have made it to the final, but any doubt about that was blown out by their 64-26 win over Birmingham the following weekend. And I may know that the Glasgow promotion will certainly not accept a drop in standards, that's for sure. Just in terms of there's another, what was I going to say? Yeah, just a couple of things I was going to mention just briefly before we go back to the comments is Monarchs Fans Trust this weekend. They'll be launching their 2023 summer draw. So tickets will be on sale and available on Friday with a £500 cash prize. First place and many more prizes to be announced. Keep your eye on that. The Youth Championship was obviously very good last weekend. We won't have the young boys in the second half on Friday because they're down at Scunthorpe in the next round of that Youth Championship. And of course, lots of Speedway to look forward to in the coming weeks. But unusual with a derby being Friday to Friday, Lasse, that's normally it's kind of you go back the next day. Is that anything that's you thought of in terms of this weekend?
Last year we as well earlier in the season we went on the Sunday, to Glasgow, that's going to be a difference. But yeah, you know, we're all used to racing on Friday night, so it's going to be good fun either way. It's on a Sunday or Friday, really. I don't think it's going to be too much of a difference, really.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the only difference might be just slightly in the setup? Of course, tracks are prepared differently or react differently on an afternoon meeting to an evening meeting. So I guess just one thing maybe for the Monarchs to watch is not being used to riding Ashfield at night, normal used to it being on an afternoon, might need to change the setup slightly.
Yeah, we always keep an eye on that, of course. Yeah, it makes the difference if the track has been laying there all day and it's an evening meeting, of course, and yeah, the temperature as well is usually a bit colder in the evening. So yeah, we got to be on our game there as well, really. But I know that we're all confident that we're gonna get the setups right this time, and yeah, try to give them a good match away match as well.
Back to a few comments. Steve Lumsden's gone for the Dale and Brennan apparently together. Apparently that's a Catalina mind mix thing. That's a dodgy film reference there from Stevie Lumsden.
That's a great film, Fred Brothers, Dave. Not dodgy. That's the one you need to download when the wife's not about.
Yeah. Caroline Summerfield saying good luck on Friday.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we've got, as usual, Kieran Lydon's in. He's still saying his shoulder's still very, very sore on Friday. And he's got a few things in there. But yeah, no, that's all looking good.
Yeah, so I think just, we've touched on it there. It's a big week of derbies, but all starts this Friday. Your usual 7:30 tapes up at Armadale. Tickets are available now, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/tickets. If you can't make it along for whatever reason, then the stream can be picked up as well. Myself and Mike will be back in the commentary box for that. That's edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/EMTV to buy your pass for that. Just before we go, Lasse, any last words? Anyone you want to say thanks to, or anyone anything to say before we finish up?
Yeah, I want to say a big shout out to the young kids in the academy, or the juniors in their results this year. It's been awesome to see them doing that well. Hopefully they keep it all going.
Yeah, very well said, Lasse. And so, of course, Friday, as Graham says, Friday night's the Monarchs. The following Friday we're at Glasgow, so there won't be a match. We're not really discussed the preview show for next week, but there is a match a week on Saturday against for the National League team against the Leicester Lion Cubs. So that's something to look forward to, Graham.
Yep, I'm sure we'll be back with a preview show for that. But before then, of course, we'll be back on Friday night after all the action to review it. Your Stellar Monarchs Friday focus. Until then, Lasse, thank you for joining us. And thanks everyone for watching. And good night.
Thank you, boys. Thank you.